It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show, where there are two sides to every story. Enjoy the broadcast. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. I am so excited to be here. It's a new month. It is Women's History Month here on the Ella Johnson Show. So you know what that means. That means that we're going to have women here telling their stories of survival, their stories of accomplishment, triumph, all of it right here all month long on the Ella Johnson Show. So if that's you and you have a story that you'd like to tell, please hit me up. Don't be shy, okay? So I want to welcome you all to the Ella Johnson Show. If you're watching from Facebook, do me a favor and share the broadcast. I want everybody and their mama to know about Libby. She is here tonight on the Ella Johnson Show, Tubi star, right? So I want you to share the broadcast. If you're watching from YouTube, subscribe. I mean, you're already there. It's only right. Just go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. If you're watching from LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you're watching this broadcast, we appreciate you because you could be doing anything else on this night, but you decided to be here with us on the Ella Johnson Show. Hello, Miss Libby.
Hello, Ella. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. You look so pretty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I am so excited that you decided to come on the show tonight, tell your story, because, you know, we all are familiar with Tubi TV. We see the movies. We see it advertised all over Facebook, but I've never had the privilege, other than the other night, to have someone that's connected to Tubi TV here on the Ella Johnson Show. So I'm excited. And you're an award-winning Tubi TV star person as well. I know. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we want to get into all of that. Listen, if you're watching the broadcast tonight, I want to know where you are from. Put in the comments where you're watching from. And I want you guys to be a part of this conversation. Ask questions. It's okay. Right? Libby doesn't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Whatever you want, right? I love it. I love it. Yeah, because tonight is all about you, Libby. We want to get to know you, what people see on the screen, what they don't see, your mindset, what got you here, what motivated you to get here. So we want to know all the tea tonight on the Ella Johnson Show, right?
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
So, but here's the thing. I want to make sure that our guests know that tonight, you are just tuning in. Tonight on the Ella Johnson Show, we are kicking off Women's History Month, okay, with a powerhouse. Now, I want you to join me as I sit down with the award-winning Libby Williams. She's right here in my screen with me, sitting on the purple couch. Not really purple couch, but she's here. She is winning Best Actress and how she shattered every glass ceiling for women over 50 in the industry. Now, this isn't just an interview. It's a masterclass in resilience and the testimony of a Tubi star. All right. So I'm excited. So here's the thing. Before we dive into everything about your movies and how you got there, I want to know about Libby. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the exact same town that I still reside in to this day, Swansea, South Carolina. I was born on Main Street, if you could believe that, in a doctor's office. I am the second oldest child of my parents, Shelley and Alice Washington. My mother had just had a baby 6 weeks earlier, went to her doctor's appointment and found out, surprise, she would have another baby on the way. No. So my parents have said everything about my life has been surprising them since that day they found out I was coming. So
they already knew it. So tell me something about your childhood that really shaped who we're looking at today? Like, give me one of your favorite moments as a child growing up there.
One of my favorite moments as a child, and I am a romantic at heart. I love love. I love the idea of people being in love. And every day we stayed at my grandparents' house. And my grandmother was the type of woman in that era, we don't show affection. So my grandfather went into the kitchen one day and he popped her on her hip. And me and my sister started screaming. We was like, oh my God, granddaddy loves grandma. And she turned around and said, Whitaker, don't do that. Don't do that in front of the children. And he said, why can't I do that? You're my wife. I can do what I want to do. And that made my face so happy. It made my heart sing. And I said, I want to have a husband that's going to do that to me. And I was like 2 or 3 at this time. And I remember that even with memory loss, that's a core memory that stayed with me. The way that my grandfather talked about loving my grandmother.
So when were you diagnosed with that memory recall situation there?
I'm going to say it was about 12 years ago. I can't remember the exact year because of, that's part of what I don't remember. But it was about 12 years ago because I have a 12-year-old grandson, and it was right before he was born. I went to work one day, had a meeting with my staff and my management team, came out of the meeting, and I was reading the notes that I'd taken into the meeting because I love taking notes. And I realized I didn't have the ability to read the notes. And it wasn't my writing that I couldn't read. I could not understand letters. So my way of handling panic is I will look extremely calm. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm going to step out for a moment. I stepped out of my job that day and I've not been back since.
Oh, wow. Is it because of the memory loss or because you just wanted to pursue something else?
It was because of the memory loss. I mean, I got to a point where I couldn't even drive. I wasn't able to take care of myself. I became homebound. My daughter was in 8th grade going to 9th grade. She literally had to take care of me. She had to take me back and forth to appointments. She became my caretaker. So now that I'm seeing my dad go through memory issues with Alzheimer's and dementia, I'm like, wow, my children went through this with me. So it makes me more compassionate toward my dad and more loving toward my children. So I'm like, I did not realize this is what you guys went through when I was in that place in my life.
Oh, wow. Here, I want you to tell me who is this picture right here? Who is that?
That is one of the only pictures that I have of myself as a little girl. That picture was sent to me by my cousin, Pearlie Pullman. And when I first saw that picture, I kept saying, is that really me? And she was like, yes, because you used to like to wear dresses every single day. I thought I was just had to be prim and proper around the house. And I'm standing in front of my grandparents' house at the time. So that's one of my favorite pictures.
Well, I wanted to bring it to a smile. What would you say to this little girl if you just looking over your life? I want you to give her a message. What would you say to her now, knowing everything that you know?
I would say, Libby, all through your life, you're considered an oddity, and that's okay. There is nothing about you that needs to conform. The things that make you odd are going to be the things that people love most about you. You don't know how to love someone unless you love them loudly. You are expressive with your emotions with everyone that you care about, and all of that is okay. Continue to be who you are and don't hide or run from it. Rejoice in that moment.
Wow, that is such a cute photo. I saw that. I said, oh yeah, I have to bring that. Because when it's something about those old photos, right?
Yeah.
What is something that happened when you were a young girl? What is something that happened that you constantly and consistently continue to think about? Sometimes in life we'll go through something, it'll always take us back. And it's that thing in that moment that keeps us grounded. What's yours?
Every day, my cousins and my siblings and I stayed at my grandparents' house, not only during the summer, but every day. And there was an older man that lived in the woods behind my grandparents' house. We never knew this man's name. We just knew every day after my grandmother cooks dinner, we had to take this gentleman dinner as well. My grandmother said, knock on the door twice to let him know that you're approaching, because he was in the bed. Let him know that you're approaching, that we have his dinner. Make sure he had everything that he needed before we left, and then you just leave. If he offers you any money, any thank you, don't accept anything. So that taught me and my cousins to be grateful, to always lend a helping hand, that you're not too good to do for others. I think that was the most valuable lesson, because we were little children. I mean, we walked through those woods every day. And we were like, we don't even know this man's name. My grandmother said, that's not the important part of the story. You don't need to know
Wow.
this man's name to know that he's in need.
Wow. See, that's good because, you know, so they were setting a precedent for you as a child. This is what
Absolutely.
we want you to follow. Wow. And no matter what, you continue to follow. See, that's good. Because I think that you being a Tubi star, being around this industry, you have to stay grounded. That's why I wanted to bring that photo up, because I know that that's where we learned the value and the art of being grounded was when we were
Yeah,
children. That's when it was instilled in us,
absolutely.
right? So what
Yeah.
kind of teenager were you? Were you a wild and out teenager, or were you a good girl?
There was nothing good about me. I was wilding out. I wanted to be married since I was at least 3 years old. I was always looking for a husband. I saw my mom happily married. I saw my grandparents happily married. And I just thought that's just what you want to do. You just want to be married. So I was boy crazy from the womb. Um,
Girl, now you know we can make a whole different show out of that. From the rooter to the tutor, right?
oh my God. I
Okay,
enjoyed my life.
good, good. What were some of the things that, if you looking back as a teenager, what would you do differently, or would you not change anything?
Looking back, I don't think I would change anything because I'm so hard headed. I needed every lesson that I learned in order to get me to where I am today. I mean, trust and believe, I had a village telling me, Libby, don't do this. Libby, don't do that. Libby, don't go off and marry the first person that you fall in love with. But Libby had to go run off and do it. I have no regrets about any of it. All of that shaped me to who I am today. Um, it made me know that I need to think with my head sometimes and not just my heart. I need to focus, but I have no regrets at all. None at all.
Now, I read that you were very close to your nephew. Tell me about that relationship with is it Jarvis?
Yes, it's funny because Jarvis, when I was in the midst of my disability, still pretty much homebound, not going out doing anything, I just started back driving a little bit. Jarvis called me and said, Auntie, I have a show, a fashion show that I'm doing, and I would like you to be in the show. My first reaction was, no way, I can't do it. I'm not at that point where I want to be seen. I want to remain invisible. That's where I want to be at this stage in my life. Jarvis was like, oh, that's all nice and sweet, but you're going to do it anyway. So I call myself want to tell on Jarvis to my children. And I was like, this is what Jarvis wants me to do. I told him I didn't want to do it, just knowing that they were going to take my side. My kids were like, do it anyway. We don't care that you don't want to do it. You got to get out of this bed and do something eventually. Just do it. I did my first show with Jarvis. From that point on, I was being contacted directly for to be in movies, to do different things, to be a brand ambassador. And I was like, I'm not prepared for this. I'm still not in the midst of having my memory back. I'm not able to do this. That was just a hobby for me.
Ooh,
God said, this will be what I tell you it will be. You can call it a hobby. I'm calling it a testimony. So from that point on, I've been full steam ahead. Thank you to Jarvis Matthews.
wow. Jarvis, if you're watching, thank you so much. So he helped
Thank you.
get your build your see, everybody has to have that kind of person. Everybody needs a
Yes,
Jarvis in their life, right?
absolutely.
Now what about your sister? You and your sister were pretty special together. She was your biggest confidant. What's that relationship like?
I, both my sisters were my biggest confidant. My older sister, Lisa, who was 10 and a half months older than me. I mean, thick as thieves. We were very close as well. And my baby sister, Sharon, she's 4 years younger. Lisa has since passed away, but
Mm.
we make sure we keep her memory going. Sharon and I do almost everything together. She goes to most of my functions with me. She's my person that keeps me dressed a lot of times for any functions that I'm attending. She makes sure I know that, look, you're not a star. You got to get it together. So she's very she's just a different character. I just can't explain how much I adore my baby sister.
Oh, now
During the
when you
midst of
guys were
my
growing,
huh?
no, finish. Go ahead. Hmm.
During the midst of my disability, when there were days that you have feelings that you don't know are real or not. You're starting, your memory is creating false memories. I would call Sharon. It never bothered her. She was like, you could call me at any time. It's okay. And I'm just so grateful to have the support from my siblings that I have.
Now, growing up, you guys, your parents had a construction company, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys worked in it. Tell me some of the things you learned, the disciplines that you learned by working for your parents.
Well, we learned that you will not be late. You will show up
Okay.
for work at a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes early. You will be prepared when you get there. You're not going to ask a lot of questions. You're going to stand around, look at the job site, and make some assessments on your own before you start asking questions. If there's a safety issue, you know my dad is the man in charge. We could always go to him, and we could always rely on each other. I mean, he was a strict, um, when that business phone rang at home, as little kids, we had to know to answer that phone as professionals. There was no hello. There was like Washington Construction. We knew how we had to answer that phone. So it was all about the business. So I'm so proud that we had that opportunity because my children as well worked with my parents' company growing up.
Wow. How long did they have this company?
I'm 58, so I'm going to say they had it for at least 45 to 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad finally stopped doing a little work just a few years ago, and that's because he said his knees were starting to hurt. But when I built my first custom home and my daughter built her home, my daddy was not the contractor for that, but he was on site every day making sure it was done correctly.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I got chills. That is
It's
amazing. What? How
he's
old
been
were
an
you when
amazing blessing, ma'am.
how old were you when you started working in the company?
Oh my gosh, we were like 5 and 6 years old. And my dad had us hauling bricks. Three little girls out there hauling bricks. He had us toting wheelbarrows, mixing mortar. I mean, anything that anybody out there could do, he was like, y'all got to be able to do it first. This business will ride or die on us first before we start hiring a crew. So we were the crew.
So that's so interesting because one of the disciplines I'm sure you learned, like you said, being on time, that helped you definitely in this industry.
Oh,
Do you
absolutely.
now are you a diva on set? You're not one of those people, are you?
Not at all. I am so grateful for every opportunity that's presented to me because I still let every director and producer know that I still have limited memory issues. So I let them know that up front so they can see, is it going to be worth working with this actor? I don't ever want them to go into anything blind. So when I'm on set, I'm observing, I'm looking, I'm looking at different ways to make myself better. So prayerfully, I'm never a diva on set. Hopefully I have a grateful spirit. I have a spirit that I'm going to show up early and stay late. If there's anything that needs to be done, I'm willing to do it. And I learn a lot from the younger actresses that's in the field. I mean, I've learned a great deal from these young ladies about having the determination to go to the next level. So personally, I've never been a diva on set, and that's not in my personality at all.
That's
It's
good.
definitely in my personality at home, but not on set.
Not on set. You know what I was thinking about today when I saw that? I said, wow, imagine if all we had was faith and we didn't have that kind of stuff. So whenever you are forgetting, this is my encouragement to you. Whenever you find yourself forgetting, just remember that we walk by faith, not by sight. In your case, you walk by faith and not by memory, right?
Right.
And that's a
Amen.
good time to really, I think, take in the moment and just You're making it work because look at you.
Yes, thank
Award
you.
winning at
Thank
50.
you.
Come on,
Yes.
girl. You know we're gonna get into it because
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed by that. So you still have that issue.
I did. At that point, when I won that award, my son, my older son, who's also a model and an actor, was going on set with me. So I would look up at him if I forgot a line, and he would mouth it to me.
Oh wow. And they
So
were
people,
okay with that. They worked with
hmm,
you. They worked with
yeah,
you. Oh
yes. I mean,
wow.
I am so grateful to Felicia Geechee One Rivers and the Geechee One Films team. I had other actresses and actors that I work with. I was transparent with them. I'm not trying to do anything for attention. I'm not trying to flub a line. This is what's going on. I want you to know that this is what's happening with me. So sometimes I was allowed to ad lib a line. Sometimes my co-stars would give me my line. When I tell you that people that I work with were more than gracious to me, that is something that I will never forget. And I
Oh.
absolutely going to pay that forward at some point in my life.
So at what point did you leave home? When did you finally say, okay, I'm going out here in this big old world, try it out? What age were you when you did that?
I'm 59 now, and I'm not saying that I've ever left home. I still live within 7 minutes of my parents. I don't think I've ever left home. I've never. This is my time now that I'm actually growing up, finding out who Libby is, what Libby likes,
Yeah.
what's her favorite color. Going
Yeah.
through the disability that I went through, I'm like, I don't even know who I am outside of being a wife and a mother. It's time for me to discover what I like, the things that I want to do.
Good
So
for
I'm in that
you.
right now.
That's what I'm talking about. So tell me about the kids. We haven't talked about your children because you have children and your grandmom, right? Tell me
I
about
am.
that.
I have three incredible children. My oldest is an actor and model, Jared Williams. He just turned 30. Then I have my middle child who's in the construction business. She won't let me say much about it, but she is doing really well in construction. And then my youngest son has a trucking company.
Wow. Impressive. I
My
love
4 year
it.
old grandson
So
was
is she
looking
a
at one of my
GC?
reels earlier this week, and I said, look at Gabby. He was like, Gabby, I know that's not you for real. That's AI.
Oh. What? You don't go sit down somewhere.
It's me, but I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to know what Gabby does.
Wow. Now, your daughter, is she a GC?
I'm sorry,
Is she a
my daughter.
GC, your daughter? She's in construction? Is she a GC or she just has a construction company?
Oh, she does not have a construction company. She works for a construction company. So no,
Oh,
she's not
okay.
a
I thought
job
she was a
seeker.
GC.
Oh no,
Well,
no, no.
maybe
She currently
GC
works.
is in her future. Maybe
Hmm?
GC is in her future. That came from somewhere. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, she likes being in a male dominated industry just like I was. She has that personality for it, and I am beyond proud of her.
Oh, you should be. What is it that your parents told you? Because there had to be some people along the way. I know we've heard about your nephew, your sister Bond, but who else is it that deposited little nuggets in your life along the way that got you here? Even if
One
they
of
were
the things,
having to talk to you when you were wilding out. Yeah.
my dad, my
Oh,
dad was one of those people. No matter what anybody said about me, he always knew the truth about me. And there were some rumors, and there were some pictures of me with a cigarette and a beer can, and I showed it to my dad intentionally just to see his response. He was like, Libby, don't play. You wouldn't smoke and you wouldn't drink a beer. Here at this age, I've still not done either. But he knew that because he knew his child. And I'm so grateful for that because my dad was always transparent with us. He's like, I'm not a perfect man, but anything that you hear about me, you're going to hear it from me first. And that's how I've always been with my parents. I don't shy, even the photos that I post, some people say that they can be somewhat provocative. My parents and I don't see it as provocative. We see it as art. I think
right.
it's Yeah, and I'm grateful that they see it that way. So before I post anything, I'm like, look, mom and dad, in case you hear anything, this is what I post. They're like, we would be surprised if you didn't post something like that. So I'm grateful that I have the parents that I have. They're open minded, and they teach us to be free spirited. We don't have to always go by all these constrictions that life has in place for us, and I appreciate that.
Wow, amazing. So let me ask you a question. When you're out in this industry, I'm sure you run across women who didn't have your background, meaning they didn't come from a stable home. They weren't taught things and they weren't taught to love and give and be patient. They didn't get this. And I know that you can instantly see it. How do you respond to that when you see it and have to work with it?
I have no problems with working with it because people are who they are, and they're not always that way by the circumstances of their own. So even when I was in the midst of my most difficult times, someone gave me grace. So it's all
That's
about
right.
giving people grace because at the end of the day, we don't know what someone's background is. We don't know how what form um, the who they are to the today. So I always try to at least give people grace. I try to be as honest as I can be with also showing kindness without being judgmental or pompous. I would like to say I don't have a problem working with anyone as long as they're respectful. I don't like to see anyone talk down to anyone else. That's a situation that I spoke up on before, and I kept thinking, Libby, don't say anything, don't say anything. But the Libby in me had to. I just stepped in and say, as as a former manager, I couldn't go to my job and talk to employees the way that you talk to people. And I would like you to keep that in mind. I'm not judging you. I don't know what other things transpired this day for you, but just keep that in mind. There's a certain way that we have to speak and address each other. And that was it for me.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know if you
And
guys.
how was that
It was
received?
it was not received well at first.
Okay.
That person came back to me and we had a conversation about it afterwards. I think because I tend to be a quiet observer, it surprises people when I speak up. I think that was the first time I've had to do something like that on set. And at first I kept saying, well, I'm just going to go home. I don't even want to be in this environment anymore. And I said, well, how did that make sense? You're going to go home. You're in a great situation with this company. You're going to go home and risk everything that you've been working for. It's better to just say something. So that's what I did.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So you started modeling and acting first. I mean, you
Modeling,
started
modeling.
modeling first. You started modeling first. Okay. Tell us about that. How did, because I know Jarvis has you all confident now. You're like ready to tackle the world. How old when you started modeling?
Well, I was a hair model first before I even started doing anything. I was a former hair model for Hair by Plush in Columbia, South Carolina, and also Virginia Spigner's Hair Design, which is also in Columbia, South Carolina. So I've done commercials and print ads for both of those ladies when I was in my early 20s. I mean, before I even started having children. So that's something that I've always done. I stepped away from that when I started saying, well, let me try to have an actual job. And that's when Jarvis came to me in the midst of my when I was doing my disability. But I was always doing something. People would come up to me and said, "There's something different about you. Can we do pictures or can we do test photos?" And I would talk to my parents, and I'm like, "I'm not sure." The idea of being a model is great, but I didn't understand the lines and all those things that were so important. I've learned a lot of that since then, but people were always encouraging my parents to get me in modeling. But it's funny, it was after I gained over 100 pounds that I actually got into real modeling with the body positivity.
See, now that's what I want to talk about because I read that. You, okay, I want y'all to understand that. If you're just tuning into the Ella Johnson show, we're talking with Libby. She's a Tubi TV star. Now, she did something that was phenomenal. That's why we started this month off with her. Because you had put on 100 pounds, right?
Yes,
And that's when you started modeling.
I did.
Yeah. Now, what did you get when you're out there presenting yourself this way? What kind of feedback did you get?
Most of the feedback was positive. And I'm one of those people, if the feedback is not positive, that's okay. My art is not for everyone. Everyone is not going to appreciate it. And I don't have a
That's
problem with
right.
that. I don't see it
That's
as
right.
a personal attack against me. I just say that you just don't have the taste, to appreciate good art. So when I was 52, I was published in lingerie at one of my heaviest weights, and I was
What?
very proud of that photo.
I
So I was
love
in
it.
pink, yeah, I was in pink lingerie, and I was showing it to my children. I was showing it to everybody, and I'm like, this is what I was able to do after the 100 pounds, after the disability, after the memory loss, after feeling like the workplace didn't want or need me anymore. I can still feel proud of what I accomplished. Because when I say I was on bed rest, I wasn't working out. I was barely moving. So to say that I was proud of that moment in time. So when I first started out with the body positivity modeling, I was swimwear and lingerie at my heaviest
That
weight.
is amazing. Listen, guys, I want to show you, Libby. I went through a lot of your photos, and I'm telling you, by far, this was my favorite right here.
Oh my gosh.
I
You're gonna make me
love
cry.
this photo.
Thank you so much.
That is
That's one of my
beautiful.
favorites.
When you see this, what does this say to you when you see this photo?
That's my son, the oldest. There was a model call, and I was trying to get him to do the model call where they're looking for male models to be featured in an art show. When I submitted him, the photographer called me and said, "Well, how would you feel about you both taking a photo together?" And I said, "Okay, I'll take a few with him, but he's the subject of this." And so it was supposed to look like I was actually wearing a tube top. He was not wearing a shirt, and it's to show the mother and son closely. When he was a little boy, he would come walk up to me when I was sitting down and lean his head on me like that. That was his way of saying, "Mommy, I need something from you right now. Mommy, I love you right now. Mommy, I got something going on that I can't explain." And that's what he would do to me. So in that photo shoot, the photographer said, "What is a pose that you would like to do with your mom?" He immediately went into that pose. He said, "Mom, step
Oh,
behind me." And he's 6'5", so he's tall enough to do that. And the minute he did that, I'm like, oh my God, it took me back to him being 4 or 5 years old again.
aw, I love it. That was
Thank
when
you
I
so
saw
much.
that. I said, "Yeah, yeah, that photo just spoke." And I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize that was your son when I
Yes,
grabbed that.
yes,
I didn't know
that is
that.
my oldest son. I am
Wow.
so
How
proud of
was that being
him.
able to work with him in that capacity, like doing work together? That's how you did with your parents.
It's yes, it's amazing working with Jared. Jared is the most creative soul I've ever met. We were in one of Felicia's movies together. Don't ask me the name of the movie right now because, of course, I don't remember. Jared was an extra in one of the movies. So by him being on set with me, Felicia from PC One was like, "Well, why are you here? Could I get you to be an extra?" He's like, "Sure, why not?" Um, and as far as us being modeling together, I can't think of anybody that I could bounce ideas off as well as him because we both are somewhat eccentric. We have an unusual way of presenting ourselves to the world. Um, I love my other two children, but they see me and Jared as complete oddities, and that's okay with us. Jared and I went out to breakfast about 2 weeks ago. Jared is wearing this cow colored fur coat. And I'm like, look at my baby. I can do this with you. I can do life with you. I mean, he is just
Aw.
he's my mirror. He is absolutely my mirror.
So they're like your biggest cheerleaders, then, it sounds like.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
They're your biggest cheerleaders, it sounds like.
Oh my God. Well, and my parents as well. Even after I do this interview tonight, I normally go in and check in with my parents. The first thing my dad asked me after everything, "Baby, did you win? Baby, did you win?" Even if it's not that
Aw.
kind of situation, I'm like, "Well, Daddy, it's not that kind of situation." "Well, oh, they must have cheated if you didn't win." Even now that he's
Aw.
going through his memory issues, he will still always ask me, "Baby, did you win?" And that's one of my that reminds me that he is always going to be one of my biggest cheerleaders.
I
My
love
mom
it.
too, but my mom doesn't baby it up as much as my dad does.
Would you say they were kind of strict though when you were growing up? Just a little?
Um, they were strict about us going out. I remember our senior year, my sister and I started first grade together and we graduated high school together. So everywhere we went together. And my dad was actually taking us to parties. He was taking us to school dances. So my dad was the cool dad. Everybody was like, oh, here's your daddy out there to pick y'all up. And that wasn't a big deal to us. And that's just the way it was. We wasn't riding around with a bunch of friends. We knew what time our daddy was going to show up. And we had to be, out there for him. So they were very strict about us not spending the night with people, not going out. They had to meet anybody that was going to come to the house. He had to know who the family was.
Okay.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
pretty strict. I
Old
didn't
school.
really the rules, but they were pretty strict.
Old school. I love it. So
Oh
let's move
yeah.
into your acting. Okay. What was that moment for you that you're like, okay, I think I want to try this now? I mean, you've done the hair modeling. Now you're really feeling yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm doing it all. I'm not leaving any stones unturned. I'm handling business. When was that moment when you decided you wanted to act now?
Someone actually contacted me about doing my first movie with Grammy and Gail Jones. It was Code 205, the movie. I had not acted before. I remember the first night, even doing the going over the script with the team, I was terrible, and I just knew they were going to cut me, and they didn't. They asked me, "Okay, are you ready to come back next week?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm terrible, but I love feedback. I strive off feedback. So I was like, "What feedback can you give me to make me more comfortable, to make me seem more realistic?" They continued to give me feedback. And from Code 205, I've continued to work as an actress ever since then. I think I've filmed about 20 or more movies at this point.
Oh wow. Really? That is amazing. I want to talk about the one that won you an award. She's an award-winning best actress. And I have some snapshots. Now guys, if you look into the comments, I have put the link in there for you to go out and watch this film. This is the one that Libby got an award for. This is, tell us what this movie is.
Oh my gosh. In this movie, I was playing,
This is,
I think it's The Secret of the Emerald Green and White. I think
yes.
I've done,
Yes.
okay. And I was playing the house mother, the dean. I love this role. If you see the young lady that's standing there to the back, she's a musician, Shine in the Sky. This was filmed at also at my heavier weight, and in the midst of not remembering my lines. Miss Sky knew my lines, and she would whisper them to me if I needed her to. So she was one of those phenomenal people that worked with me. So I feel like I definitely did not win the award on my own. It was definitely a group effort, and I'm so grateful for everyone that helped me along the way.
So how did you find out you won an award for this one? Best actress, even.
Felicia sent it to me in Messenger, and I kept looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute. Someone made that for me. That's really cute." And she was like, "No, Miss Libby, that's real." And I said, "What do you mean it's real? Because I don't know how to be an actress yet." And she said, "This is very real." And I still didn't believe her. I was like, "Well, I didn't remember this. I didn't remember that." She said, "We know that because I know the way I wrote it. But when you gave a delivery, it was believable, and you did a great job." And
Oh,
I was like, I literally fell to my knees. I Sometimes in life you go through a phase where you feel invisible. I said, "Lord, thank you. I'm not invisible anymore. Someone sees me for me." And I say all the time, I'm so grateful for this moment in time. That's how I continue to feel. I'm just so grateful.
that is amazing. This, I mean, you have this memory situation. I'm gonna call it situation. I don't like to call it illness or whatever. But you had this memory situation, you
Mhm.
had a weight situation, and none of that stopped you. Now
No.
there are people watching and they're like, yeah, but that's her, Ella. It's not like that for everybody. What would you say to that person that feels like, well, I don't have any acting experience and I don't have money to do any of this stuff. I know I'd like to be in movies also, but it's just not for me. I can't do it. They give up before they even try. Tell them about the moment, if you had a moment where you almost wanted to give up, if you did at all.
There's many times I feel like I'm not good enough. I don't know that I actually wanted to give up because I absolutely love what I do. I love being able to say that I'm an actress. Even if I'm in only one or two scenes, I'm an actress. I'm being talked about in rooms that I've never been in. I've heard people come back and say, Libby, I heard your name in this meeting. I'm like, are you serious? And I've not even been a major star in any movie. So when I say I feel like sometimes I'm not good enough, I've never wanted to give up on it.
Now tell me
So
about Felicia Geechee one, because I understand that she has really worked with you. You've been in a lot of their films. Tell me
yeah.
about that relationship with them, how you met them.
I met Felicia because she was working on the very first movie that I was in, Code 205, the movie. And I saw how she ran her set and I liked it. It was very professional. I liked the way she was personal with everyone, even me as a newbie. Um, and I said, there's something special about her. She's not just talking to the stars of this movie. She's coming around talking to everybody to see if you need anything, to see if you're good. Is there anything I can do to make you feel more comfortable? That was a great experience working with her that very first time. And I was like, this lady doesn't even know me, but yet she's treating me with the same respect that she's treating everyone else. And I greatly appreciated that. And I'm also one that, like I said, I like feedback. I'm not afraid of negative feedback. Um, I think all feedback is good if it's going to help you get to a higher plane. And that's one of the
Absolutely.
things about Felicia. She's not shy about giving it to me. Now, Miss Libby, you can do this, or you can do that, or can you change something this time, or can you give me a different delivery? I love it because it pushes me. It pushes me to a different level. So Felicia has been one of the most patient people on the planet, not only with encouraging me to do her films, but encouraging me to audition for other people as well. She will send me something. Miss Libby, I think this will be good for you. What a lot of people don't know is I was in background for All the Queen's Men with Tyler Perry. That was because Felicia sent that to me. Felicia was like, audition for this, Libby. I think you would be good. And I was like, Tyler Perry, are you kidding me? And I did it. I did it. I drove to
And
Atlanta by myself, stayed up all night driving, got to the hotel, and it was an amazing experience. All because Felicia believed in me and she pushed me. And Lord knows she pushes me.
that is amazing. So not only is she's a mentor for you, and the
Absolutely.
one that is
Yes.
amazing.
Not only just for me. Anybody that steps on her set, she's willing to do that for each and every one of us. Sometimes I think as a director and producer, she can be so misunderstood. But I can honestly say I've seen her step out of her comfort zone to help us get comfortable. And the love and admiration that I have for her is immeasurable.
Wow. Well, you're getting some comments here. Chardonnay says, "Hello, Auntie. So
Hi,
proud of
Shanta.
you."
Thank you, baby
That's
girl.
pretty
I
name.
love
Your breasts are
that's
popping. No, you did. They say your breasts are popping out. Oh,
well,
well, gee,
that's they say that to me all the time, so I'm used to that.
I didn't even notice.
Well, I keep
Dee Dee, that's my girl, Felicia. She is the one who invited me to watch you on tonight. Wow. Well, thank you, Dee Dee, and thank you, Felicia. I want to
thank you,
look in this
Felicia.
camera and thank you guys. I love it. I love it. We want to bring more of your team and your people onto this broadcast because this is how we spread the word and support each other. Is we
Absolutely.
start here doing stuff like this because I want y'all to make sure I put the link in there. And Tubi movies are free. Now, there's gonna probably
Absolutely.
come a day where they're gonna start charging. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen one day. So we better get it in now. But I would still watch it even if they charge because this is how we support one another, right?
Thank you.
So, and Jonathan says she's great to work with. Yeah, I can't wait to meet her. I wish she could have been on here. She is a sweetheart, always putting everyone first before herself. Wow, Felicia.
She's
Felicia,
amazing.
Felicia, excited to be here. Congratulations, beautiful ladies. Thank you all. I love to bring your comments here because this is our show, right? This is Now it looks like you were in some kind of theatrical production with Geechee. What is that? Tell me about that.
I was actually learning how to do self auditions or self tape. So
Uh-huh.
that's one of the things that I'm still working on learning. I'm still very much in a learning stage, although I've been in quite a few films. So that's one of the things that I was doing with my acting coach, Earlene Boyd. And I'm also one of her new elite brand ambassadors. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more work with her soon.
You know what I was just thinking about? Do you guys ever do like talent searches for actors to for these movies? How do you find your actors and actresses?
Felicia was doing a class. I think it was like every Thursday at Art Studio in Charleston, South Carolina, at the Citadel Mall. She's going to start doing that once more, but I'm not sure of all the details yet, since that Art location is closing. And Earlene Boyd also does private um, photo shoots with up and coming models and actresses, and she does one-on-one sessions with them as well. So there's always ways. If anyone is interested, I share different things on my page on anyone that's doing anything that you can get into acting and modeling. I try to make sure everyone knows it's not a closed field. If you're interested in doing it, I will always share that information with you. I'm not
Now
a
because
gatekeeper. Fan.
now because Tubi doesn't charge people to watch, do people get paid to be on Tubi movies, or is that like this is just a learning experience? How does that work for people
Um,
that
for
want to
some,
know?
for some, it's a learning experience. As you do more and more movies, you absolutely get paid for it.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to get into some more questions, some thought-provoking questions here. Now, I
Okay.
want to know, we look at the 30 years you spent as a hair model before the world discovered you on Tubi. What was that quiet version of Libby preparing the famous version for?
I don't know if Libby has ever had a quiet moment. Um, I've always been somewhat of a eclectic personality, and I'm not shy about that. I don't try to withhold my personality from who I am. One of the scariest things to me is not being authentic. And then someone finding out, oh wow, she wasn't like that the other day. This is pretty much who Libby is. Um, so even when I was getting ready, getting my hair done, I'm interacting with other people. I'm having fun. I want to laugh. I want to make it light. I want to make everybody. I know I'm not a comedian or anything, but I want to make sure everyone feels like we're good. This is a sisterhood. This is not where we're going to do any um, backbiting. We're going to mentor each other. Each one teach one. I've had great mentors throughout my life, and that's what I would like to be for others coming up as well.
That's good. Now, when you get these roles, what if it? I know acting is about becoming that person that this role calls you to be. Have you ever gotten a role and you're like, wow? Because if I were going through something, if I had to do if I had to have a role of something that I've done in life that would come natural, I'm like, oh yeah. Like if I had to pretend to be a cheerleader, I could do that because I was a cheerleader for real. So I could get in
Mhm.
front of the camera and do it. Or stuff I've done. How do you make yourself look believable when it's something you have no connection to? You're just
Well,
becoming an
Felicia had
actress.
me playing I think a cook or a cook or something in Fangirl, and I'm like, that's the most laughable thing on the planet. I could not cook anything if my life depended on it. So I'm like, I don't even know anything about the kitchen. Aesthetically, I know what things are, but I don't enjoy a kitchen. So I'm like, well, Felicia, this would be my biggest acting moment of all time. Um, I just pretend that I know it and I believe in my head because I pretend every Thanksgiving when I'm in the kitchen with my siblings, as I'm in the way doing things, and my sister's like, Libby, we love you, but please move. We don't need you over here stirring your invisible meal. So that's pretty much the same thing that I did on set. Just having fun, just pretending I'm another person.
So have you ever had a role that was hard to play because of something that maybe you have been through?
Yes, Kill 'em with a Smile was difficult for me. After the first, normally when Felicia sends me a script, I don't read everyone else's part. So I really don't know what the movie's about until I get on the phone call and have to go over my lines. And that's because I don't want to get my lines mixed up with anyone else's. So I'm careful to just only read my lines and the line before and the line after. So when I got on Kill 'em with a Smile, I realized it was about a woman. who had an illness. And we've
Mm.
gone through it with my sister previously. My sister was diagnosed with brain cancer. And I told Felicia, I can't do this one. This one is too close for home. Felicia said, trust me, you're going to like the outcome. Trust me. And I kept saying, I can't. This is too heavy for me. She said, I can send you the rest of the script if you want to read it. And I said, I'm not even in a place where I can read it. I trusted her, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did.
So why was that close to home?
There was a lady, the young lady in Kill 'Em with a Smile had an illness. They thought she was dying. And my sister had recently passed away from brain cancer. And I just did not want to relive someone going through that, the emotions of someone knowing that their life is changing. It was just too emotional.
You know what I thought about? You remember in the Temptations when the guy was supposed to the song, it was the 3rd of September, the day I'll always remember. And he didn't want to do it because he said, that's the day my daddy died. And he
Yeah,
said, use it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And I
I
think
do.
that that's what you did. I'm sure
Mm,
you
yeah,
used it and it helped you be more believable in that role.
absolutely, absolutely.
Have you ever had to turn down something because you just couldn't? You're like, look, I don't even believe in this. Like, let's say if you had to, I'm trying to think of something like not kill somebody because we know that you wouldn't kill anybody and that's part of movies. But I can't think of an example right now. But let's just say there was something that you don't believe in. Okay, like a lesbian scene. I'll say something like that. And let's say you don't believe in that. Would you be able to put aside the fact that this is just acting? These are not my beliefs. This is just something that I'm doing because this is my job. Or do you say there's just some things I don't want? Have you ever had
I
to
think,
turn down money?
um, kind of. I was offered a lead role. The script was phenomenal. The film is phenomenal. We've already, and I was offered a lead role. I studied that role for 3 months. I wasn't getting I couldn't maintain the information. And then on top of that, I ended up catching COVID, which made my memory even more foggy. The hardest thing in the world was to call the producer and director and say, I can't do this. But I wanted to give her enough notice to replace me in that lead role. And to come to that realization, Libby, you're not ready for that yet. You can't do this yet. That was hard. And it wasn't because of my beliefs. It's because I just simply couldn't do it. I wasn't there yet. But
Yeah.
as far as something I don't believe in, I think about the only thing that I really have told that I will, there's certain words I won't say on screen. Under no
Okay.
circumstances do I ever plan to say the N word. I just, it just hurts my soul to hear it. I know that there are in a lot of films that I do. I just, at my age, I don't want to be in a position where I have to say, and I haven't been so far, and I'm grateful for that.
I think the blessing is being able to turn it down. I think that's what's good
Absolutely.
because yeah, that's good. I
Absolutely.
want to talk about this. We were going to get to this, but I'll go ahead and address it. Sneaky Leaks. He talks about that. Heartless Outlaws, Rich Intent. These are some of your latest projects. And you're going to be in the premiere in Charlotte of As We Lay. You are in the
I'm
tell
so
now.
excited.
That's one of my favorite songs. I'm not
Oh my God.
saying I was as we lay in with someone. I'm just saying I like the song. Don't read into
I
it. No
understand.
judgment. Tell me about the movie As We Lay.
Oh my God. I can't give out too much about the movie, but it was so
Right?
much fun doing that film. I was able to film with Benzino from Love and Hip. It was
Yeah, I
great
remember
doing.
him. The guy with no neck.
Well, he actually he has a great body. I did not realize,
I think he's
you know, that,
gorgeous. I think he's
yeah, I'm like,
gorgeous.
you. But he was a pleasure to work with. So I'm playing his ex-wife in the movie. So that
Really? That is so. Is this one of your? What's your favorite? I mean, I know you all like them. I know you love them all, but what's your absolute favorite movie that you've ever done?
one favorite of mine, and I wish I could redo it because my acting has become a lot better since we filmed Heartless Outlaws. ever since childhood, my cousins and siblings and I would sit down and watch Westerns. And for whatever reason, I wanted to be the brothel person, the lady that owned the brothel. And I was like, I want to be Miss Kitty. And my grandmother was like, Libby, please stop saying that. That's no righteous woman wants to be Miss Kitty. And I was like, yes, I do, Grandma, because I like the way she dresses. I like her style. And my grandmother was trying to explain it to me without directly explaining it to me. So when Felicia offered me the role in Heartless Outlaws for playing the brothel madam, I was like, my grandmother would not be happy, but this is the opportunity of a lifetime. But like I said, my acting has become better since then. I wish I had the opportunity to play that type of role again. Hopefully it will come. But that's so far, that's one of my favorite roles, along with Sneaky Link, playing the aunt. I went viral for that one because I had a death scene and I was caught laughing during the death scene. So people started messaging me and was like, what are you laughing about in a death scene? You're supposed to be dead. I said, look, I was happy to be at the pearly gates. Don't question why I was laughing.
Wow. I want to bring this up because there may be people that are watching. I want to make sure you guys understand this. Jonathan just cleared that up. Ad revenue is how the filmmakers get paid. Okay. Thank you, Jonathan, for letting us know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what was Jonathan's comment.
He was just saying that the ad revenue is how the filmmakers get paid. Because remember, we were talking about how do you get paid if they don't charge? Yeah, the ads. Yeah, that's how they. And they have tons of movies on there, like all kinds of movies. That's what I like. There's so much variety on Tubi TV. I mean, if you guys haven't had the opportunity to check it out, please go and check out Libby's movies. Just binge them all weekend. Now, is all of your movies on Tubi TV?
We have some on Amazon Prime as well, and Maverick Movies. Okay. I think most of mine are on Tubi.
Okay. All right. Now, what is something that you would change, if anything, from beginning to now? Would you change anything?
The only thing that I would change, and I think about this often, is I had 3 children within 3.5 years. And I was a really strict mom with them because at that time we were doing a lot of traveling. Their father was doing golf tournaments and we were traveling with these 3 little children. So a lot of times I was with them alone. We had an issue with someone stalking us. So I was very strict with the children. If I tell you to move, I need you to move without hesitation. So sometimes I feel like I would slow that down a little bit. I would make sure I would say, well, we're good, we're safe, we're okay. I think that's the only thing. I wouldn't be so strict. And my tone was a lot firm. It was like a drill sergeant. And I felt I was doing it for their safety. I had to do it. Now that I have my 2 grandsons, my tone is not the same. But they say during that time they understand it. But I'm like, they were babies. They were babies. I think that's really the only thing that I'm saying. But I truly thought at that time I was doing what I needed to keep them safe.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You have grandkids now. So
I do.
They're going to watch your movies one day. What do you want them to remember about grandma that, that you want them to get from all of this?
I want them to know that Gabby can do the impossible. Everything that no one thought Gabby could do, she did it anyway. Even when she felt like lying down and not doing it, she got up and did it anyway.
I love it.
And I would like them to know also that it's okay to rest. It's okay to take time off just for you. It's okay to say the word no and mean it. No is a full sentence. If there's something that you feel like you can't do, I'm sorry, no. And that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about it.
Now, have you ever, a lot of people don't move, Libby, because either they don't understand how to do something or they don't have a string of people believing in them and pushing them. Did you have, I mean, you had a lot of support, but let's say you have someone who doesn't really have that support. How do they find the momentum to just get started, stick with it, even though they're being told no? How do you, where does that come from? And where did it come from for you?
I think if you're in that situation, you have to remain prayerful. You have to know this gift was put inside of me for a reason. I don't know what that reason was, but God, I'm asking you to order my steps, direct me in this moment. Because there was times in this that I was so broken, I couldn't pray. I couldn't pray for myself. I'm blessed that I had a family that was still doing it. My mom said, Libby, are you praying? And I said, Mom, I don't even know how to. I don't even know what to ask God for. She said, just acknowledge his presence in your life. I couldn't even do that. I did not have the will to even say, God, cover me. So I'm just asking you if there's even a small part of you that believes in what you're doing, surround yourself with positive attitudes, with positive personality. That's one of the things that I've always done. I realize everybody's not going to be for you, and that's okay. But I'm going to always surround the people that's going to cheer for Libby. And you better believe I'm cheering for you just as loud.
That's right. So what broke you, Libby? What is it that broke you?
I was in a management position, one of the only women of color in that position in a male dominated industry. I wanted to be better. I wanted my bonuses to be better, and I wanted my salary to be better. I wanted my responsibilities to keep growing. I wanted my team to keep growing. I wanted to do everything that I felt like a man could. The three men that were on the team and me, I wanted to do everything that they could do but better. I am the most competitive soul on the planet, but I'm
I believe it.
internally competitive. They would have never known I was that competitive. So
That's
I'm
right.
up all night. I'm up all morning. I'm taking phone calls when I'm supposed to be asleep. I'm taking phone calls on the weekend. I'm working all night, getting off the night shift, and then going out doing stuff with my children. Because I decided just because I chose this, my children won't suffer because of it. So I said they won't miss a beat. So I was trying to do everything and I wasn't sleeping. I was staying up for days at a time. And finally, that one day, it all came to it just collapsed.
And how did you get back up?
Therapy, church, prayer, my community. And when I say my community, I'm the house that I live in right now is within 3 minutes of the house where I've lived all my life. So my community is literally everybody that I grew up with, went to church with. They saw what was going on. They knew something was different. I went to church one Sunday and Reverend Nathaniel Adams, who was also great friends with with my parents, and I'm great friends with his children as well, even to this day. He came to me and he said, Libby, you need to speak about what you're going through. This would be a testimony for somebody. I immediately started crying. I said, Reverend Adams, I can't. I'm not there yet. I don't even know what to say. I can't. He said, well, God will let you know when you're ready. And to protect my children, there's still parts of the story that I've yet to share. But Reverend Adams, he's passed on yet. I always remember what he said to me that Sunday in church. And I knew I had to tell him no at that time, but I know I'm ready now. I'm ready to share my story. There's nothing embarrassing about this. It's not
That's right.
embarrassing to say that I had an emotional break, and it was derived from sleep deprivation and being trying to be everything to everybody. It's okay, and I sought therapy. I continue to seek therapy, and I continue to do medication. I will probably be on medication the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
So does it, when in this industry, because this is obviously an industry I'm not familiar with, do they have like mentors and therapists and people to stay on the scene and make sure that the actors and actresses are okay and that they're in their personal life as well? Because whatever you're doing in your personal life will be reflected on the screen. I mean, do they go that far in making sure
Right.
that the actors are okay?
That part I'm not sure about because all of my therapy was outside of the acting realm. There are people that
Okay.
I had before I even got into this who I still go to this day. I think if you reach out, there will probably be anybody who can tell you resources. Me myself, having been a manager in a business, I can refer you to resources. But it's funny, when I was in the midst of my storm, I couldn't remember any of those resources. I didn't know any of that. So that's
I
one of the
know,
things.
right? I know.
So
So
as far as if they do it on set, I'm not sure. I know that's something I have to constantly do for myself. It's not optional. There's been a few times that I felt like, oh, I'm well, I don't have to do this anymore. And my daughter and my sister will immediately depict the change in me. They're like, no, ma'am, we're not doing this.
so
So I'm grateful.
when are you gonna direct your first film? I'm speaking prophecy now.
Oh,
And what
I
would it
don't know.
be?
I still have a lot to learn about the industry. I'm still in observation mode when it comes to directing and producing, and I thank Felicia for allowing us the opportunity to do that on her set. I don't see, and I'm not even sure if that's something I want to do. I want to continue to learn and see where that growth takes me.
So when are you guys gonna? Are your movies gonna eventually move to Netflix as well?
We're not sure. I know Felicia's in talks with some major networks. I will let her make that announcement when it's time. I know she's excited about some new developments, and um, I just
I
hope she
can't
doesn't
wait.
forget.
I can't wait for it. I
Yeah, I
am
just hope she doesn't
truly
forget me
rooting
as
for
she
you
continues to
guys.
grow.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said, I just hope
What'd you
Felicia won't
say?
forget me as she continues to blow up.
Oh, I'm sure she wouldn't. Like you've become a regular at Tubi TV, from what I
I'm,
hear. What's saying
I'm,
out here in these streets?
I am very blessed, very blessed.
So tell me this. What if you weren't acting and modeling and doing these movies, what would you be doing? What do you think?
The same thing that I do every single day when I'm not acting and modeling. I would be a full-time grandmother. I
Okay.
would be at my grandson's beck and call.
Oh, you're that grandma.
I
Oh, that's
am.
sweet.
My son-in-law had to remind me today, it's okay, Miss Libby, he can cry. He can cry with y'all. Gabby's trying to fix it.
They don't
I'm
understand that when you become a grandmom, it's like they're yours. Listen, if you're not a grandmother, you won't understand what we're talking about right now. It's a
exactly.
whole different thing, right?
I tell my daughter, I said, honey, I have never known a love like this before.
I'm
She's
telling
like,
you,
thank
it's
you,
different.
I am a child.
It's different.
It is.
So,
It is.
if you could change anything, I know I've asked that. If you could change anything, would you? The hardship, the struggles, the memory recall situation? Like, would you say, God, why did you give me this? Have you ever said something like that? Like, why did I have to get this? Or do you look at that setback as somewhat of a setup to bring you to where you are? How do you view it?
I definitely see it as to bring me to where I am now. And I never asked God why. It never crossed my mind to ask why. Um, I saw that this is what it is, and we have to try to deal with it. I never asked why because I had so many people with me. When I had to go to Duke University for a brain scan to make sure everything was going okay inside my head, I had a team of people who was like, let's go, let's ride. We don't care how early in the morning that several hour drive will be. So I never thought to ask why me.
Wow. I have a
I just
tough
continued
question
to
for you.
study. Okay, I'm ready.
I have a tough question for you. Give me something. I want like three things that people watching this broadcast don't know about Libby. I want the exclusive right here on the Ella Johnson Show. Three things that people don't know about you that they will be surprised of.
I consider myself a tomboy.
Okay.
No, And all the modeling and the dress up for me is just dress up. I like getting dirty. I like, but then I have that girly side too. But I consider myself a tomboy.
Okay,
Um,
that's one thing. She's a tomboy. Did y'all know that?
I am fiercely spiritual. And people say, well,
Okay.
how can you be spiritual and post the stuff that the content that you post? And I know if it was not for my faith and the belief in a higher power, I wouldn't be where I am. Because when
Amen.
people keep saying, did you want to get into modeling again and acting? Again, I didn't know to want to get into it. It came from somewhere deeper than me. So I'm very spiritual and I try to give thanks to my higher power every day. One of my love languages, hold my hand and pray with me. That's how you show love to me. I don't need anything material. My parents gave me material things all my life. Um, my children's husband provided material things all my life. So I've never needed material things. I want the things that most men don't think to do. Cover me in prayer, cover me in protection. So I'm a very spiritual being.
Oh wow.
Um, I think in the final thing, and I will probably regret saying this, I was incredibly close with my grandparents. I still have conversations with them to this day. My grandfather passed away, I think, when I was about 2 or 3. My
Mm.
grandmother, when I was in my 20s. And I can get certain feelings from them when they want me to change something about what I'm doing in my life. I will get the scent of my grandmother or the sound of my grandfather's voice. And that's no, okay, Libby, you need to redirect. You need to do something different. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love.
All right, we got some questions for you.
Okay.
Felicia is watching. Hello, Felicia. Geechee one. I love that name. What does Geechee mean? I like that. It has a nice. It feels good saying it. Geechee. She says, out of all the films you've appeared in, which character did you love the most and why?
Okay. Out of all the films I've been in, which characters do I love the most and why?
Yes.
Um, I love the madam from Heartless Outlaws because that was a lifelong dream come true. Um, and I love we filmed a movie I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was coming back to my college campus. I enjoyed that. It wasn't a real college campus. It was the same Abigail Rivers University that Felicia uses in every movie. And I'm starting to feel like, yes, I'm actually a graduate of Abigail Rivers University. This is my school. So it felt like I was coming home again. So even from that first movie where I won the award, that was the name of the college. So I was going back to the college again 2 weeks ago. So that's one of my favorite moments in time as well.
So it gave you some kind of feeling. It must have been. It recaptured a feeling that it made you feel. What was that feeling that it made you feel so good that it was worth remembering? What was that
it,
feeling?
it made me feel like the growth that I've encountered with each one. I'm like, I started here when the university was at this state, and now I'm coming back as a seasoned alum, taking pictures of my adult niece that's graduating from the same college where I attended. It is you start to believe that it's real. These are my nieces, and this is really part of my life. And it, I love that. I love that Felicia kept that storyline going of Abigail Rivers University.
Wow. Well, listen, I do have a surprise. I have, one thing I love to do is I like to make, my show because it is about you. And I have some people that are gonna come here tonight and surprise you, but they're not there yet. Right? They're not there just yet.
I think
When you're trying to surprise it always
yeah,
hits
I'm
something.
ready for the surprise.
So Geechee is a lineage, a culture, the Gullah Geechee people. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice. Tell me more. What were they like? What were the Gullah Geechee people like?
From what I'm understanding, it's a language that's also spoken. Um, of different languages that were combined when the slaves were brought over from Africa. Um, and they were brought here and they were combining different languages to come up with their own language.
Nice.
So I wish
I
you could
like
hear
it.
it. I don't know if you've ever heard anyone speak the language, but
I would love to hear that.
for a
Wow.
while, people started trying to get out of it. They thought it was something that they wanted to eradicate. But I'm so glad that younger people are still saying this is our heritage. We want to reserve this. It's nothing to be embarrassed about because it's not using proper English. It's not using it, like there's different slang terms that you use, and I absolutely love it. But if you're not used to it, it may take you some use to hearing it, just like it would any other accent or dialect. But I absolutely love it, and I think it's beautiful. And when I take my children to hear it, so you can know, this is part of our history. This
I
is
love it.
okay. And, I just think it's important
I'm
for it to
definitely gonna
continue.
look it up. I'm 1000% gonna look it up. I love it.
There's even videos on YouTube of people speaking it. Please listen to one and let me know later what you thought about it.
Oh, for sure. I have another question. Does
Okay.
she like the celebrity lifestyle? They're asking, do you like the celebrity lifestyle? What is that
I
like
wouldn't know.
when
I
people,
haven't experienced any celebrity lifestyle yet.
so when you go out, people don't recognize you?
Well, they do. First of all, I was the brand ambassador for a Southern Skins line. So they recognized me from that. And then when I started talking, they were like, oh my God, I think I saw you on TV. Are you so and so? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And my mother was like, Libby, that's so funny that people actually know who you are. But it was one day that I was out and someone like was said, oh my gosh, I think I know you. And I said, yeah, that's me. They said, are you Shelly Washington's daughter? And I had to laugh. So it wasn't me they recognized. It was the fact that they thought I looked like my dad. So I'm like, if that didn't humble you really quickly.
Nice. Well, my guests are here for you. Are you ready? I'm
Yes.
going to bring them to the stage. First, we have Karen Edwards. She is here. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, Miss Karen.
It's great seeing you again, Karen.
You're muted, Miss Karen. You're muted. Unmute your phone. Uh-oh. They're trying to figure it out, but at least you know they're there. You guys unmute your phone so we can hear you. But I have somebody else to the stage. Kamal Jordan is here.
It's so good to see.
Hello, you, Kamal.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
I'm trying to do that. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
I'm trying. It's not.
It's okay, love.
I'm trying.
It's okay. I know.
Oh. I'm trying. Oh shoot!
Can you guys turn your muted because we're hearing it over and over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you guys off.
Okay, let
for
me
just
try
a
this.
second.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
See what it is, Karen, is that you're
Yes, I
looking
can
at
hear
the
you.
live show and also at the delayed one as well, Karen. So you got to
Now-
mute your mic so that we don't hear the loop as we're doing it
Oh, my
live while
goodness.
you're catching the little delay. There you go.
Thank you, Kamal.
I can't
Thank
hear
you,
them on there.
Kamal.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay. So Kamal, welcome. Thank you so much for last minute coming on. He wanted to come. He had some wonderful things he wants to say to you and about you. So Kamal, have at it. What would you like to say to Ms. Libby today?
Yes, first I want to say I love you, Miss Libby, for you just blessing us with your talent and allowing us to be able to just showcase the beauty and the Black excellence, my love. You are like a mother to me on the set always. I want you to know that I always look for you for the light to shine. And I just thank you for being such a great, great asset to us. You've been in so many films with us, from Secret of Emerald, White, and Green to our newest film, 2K, Pretty Girls Kill. You are just such a monumental staple for Get You One Films. I just want to just thank you. Come on here, let the world know, y'all. This is one right here. She is a keeper. You one of the best actresses I've seen so far. Just to keep going, and to take the criticism, to take the thought, to take the idea. Remember when we were doing the Emerald, White, and Green, it was all improv for a little bit, and you were right on there, and it looked so good. That's why I just give you my love in person, because you are like a mama to me on stage and on set as well. I'm behind the scenes guy, Miss Ella, so I'm the guy who gets to watch how it happens while it's happening. And so it's always good to have people like Libby on set. Yeah, it's always good to have people like her on set to really make it work and make it make sense.
Thank you so much, Kamal.
That is so amazing. What would you like to say, Libby?
I am so in love with Kamal. I asked him for feedback, and he does not hesitate to give me feedback. And I appreciate it, and I try to always make myself better based on the information that I get from him. I'm trying so hard not to cry.
Me too. Oh my gosh, me too. Me too, Libby. I'm so serious. Me too. Woo!
Kamal actually taught me how to do my first on-screen stunt, which is going to be in the upcoming movie that's going to be screening in Charlotte. So I'm excited for everyone to see me do my first stunt. And thank you, Kamal. That was his idea.
That's right. Yes, ma'am. She hit her head As We Lay coming out real soon. Charlotte, we got Benzino on that, and like you said, we got the wonderful, timeless Miss Libby Williams in there doing her thing. And yep, she's doing her own stunts as well. That's right.
And thank you so much for coming out and trusting me in that capacity. And even when I was doubtful, you never were. And I appreciate you so much. And I know I was coming to you a lot. I was calling you. I was getting you on Messenger, and because I wasn't sure, and I wanted that feedback, and you never hesitated and made me feel like I was worrisome. And I absolutely love you, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you too. I mean, Libby, because of you, I was able to understand my position inside the whole production as well. You know what I'm saying? Because at first, I thought I was supposed to be the guy in front of the camera, but no. In fact, I'm way better in this role, and it's people like you being able to take it and let me see that and understand to really help this whole thing become magic, Libby. For real, for real.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think we got Karen back. Are you ready now, Miss Karen?
I am. Can you hear me now?
We got you. We are good to go.
Yeah.
So there you go, Miss Karen. These are your surprises, Miss Libby. Karen, tell us what Miss Libby means to you.
Oh my goodness. So she probably thought I was a stalker when I first started stalking her, because I was. I first came across her on beautiful Felicia's page, and I saw her, and I am shocked to find out that she is a tomboy, because I saw her and I was like, this lady is absolutely stunningly gorgeous, and I've got to find out who she is. I've got to know who this is. So I started just checking her out, right? And because I thought, she looks to be maybe my age, but she just seems so much, so worldly, and I had to find out who she was. So I checked her out, and then I was like, I've got to be in a movie with her. I've got to find out, more. I've got bucket list is to film with her. And the next thing I know, without even saying this to Felicia messages me and says, I've got a role for you. And then she ends up telling me that there's a celebrity in this film, and I thought that Miss Libby was the celebrity. It turns out it was Benzino, but nonetheless, I thought it was Miss Libby, because that's my celebrity, right? And absolutely, when she walked in the room, she's everything I thought she was going to be. She walked in just stunningly gorgeous. She owned the room. She's classy. She's everything. And on top of that, the personality to go with it. And just gorgeous inside and out. And we had so much in common. We're both grandmas, and spiritual, everything. I mean, we just hit it off. And I'm pretty sure I'm older than her, but when I grow up, I want to be just like her. And
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. the most meaningful thing in the world was the behind the scenes conversation that we had on set. At that point, I was into the newness of my dad's diagnosis, and I had not told a lot of people at that point. I don't know how I felt so comfortable with us sharing that conversation. And to this day, I'm grateful for the information that you gave me. You and
Oh,
Sheikah with that behind the scenes conversation was life saving. I don't share a
oh,
lot. I thank God for you being in that moment. Thank you so much, Karen. And I absolutely love you, beautiful lady.
oh, thank you. I feel the same. That conversation meant so much to me. My mom had just passed, and I'm pretty sure she had just passed, right? She was either very sick. I'm trying to remember the date, but I think she had just passed when we filmed. And yes, we had a lot in common. I'm taking care of my dad right now. And yes, that
Oh,
meant so much to
bless
me
your
as well.
heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That meant so much to
Yes,
me as well.
thank you so much. You're an
Aw.
absolute angel, and I'll pray that God continues to bless you.
Thank you. You also.
Thank you so much.
See, guys, this is one of the reasons that we like to bring people on and do stuff like this because I have a segment on the Ella Johnson Show, and it's titled Hero from DeVille. Now, I'm from Monroeville, Alabama, and we call it DeVille. So I like to recognize people who I think have been a great asset to our community because I believe that we should always give people their flowers while they can
Mhm.
smell them. So that's what this was all about tonight, Libby. Because sometimes we don't know how people feel about us. Y'all know how when someone passes away, there's like 500 comments about them. And I guarantee you, half of them never said it to them while they were able to hear it. So I
Right.
think it's important that people tell you, Libby, how amazing you are, not just
Thank
as a
you.
film star, but as a person. The values, the disciplines that your father, your parents taught you, you carried into this. And listen, someone who has a memory recall situation and had to deal with weight and all of that, and she came to this, what are our excuses? Like, really?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I am honored. Thank you, Jonathan, because Jonathan is the one that reached out to you guys and said, Jonathan, we got to give her a surprise tonight. Find me
Thank
some people.
Mhm.
And he did. And you guys came on, and I'm so, so excited about it.
thank you so much
I'm
for
trying to
having
see.
me.
It's great working with Libby Williams. Jonathan says, it's so great working with you, Libby.
Thank
I
you so
just
much.
met you tonight, and I'm already like, okay, sign me up for the premiere. I want to come watch the movie. I'm definitely listen when As We Lay comes out because I know it's coming out. You have to come back. Some of you and the characters come back and let's like kind of go through the movie after it's been
Oh,
premiered, kind of
I
like
would
a
love that.
after the movie
Oh
kind of
yeah.
show,
Yeah,
right? Wouldn't that be cool? Come on,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
telling
Karen,
you, I wish I could be there. I
Oh,
know
we'll make
Jonathan
it
is
happen.
coming.
Yes. I would love that.
Oh
great.
yeah.
I'm
So, do you
making it
guys have
now.
anything else y'all want to say? Let me see here. I want to make sure that I got everything covered because once you get off, she's truly the best. Oh, he's putting messages in our private chat here. He says she's truly the best.
Thank
We
you.
met on set and became family. Oh, that is so. See,
Yeah.
Libby, this is what I'm talking about. Like
Thank you
the
so
reason
much.
this is so cool is because you never know who's watching. You never know who's being affected by. And one of the most
Exactly.
impressive things that you said to me tonight was when I asked you about how you got from being broken. You said you prayed, you trusted God, you got therapy. You didn't just say one thing. You were not afraid to do the work to get
All of it.
yourself to where you need to be. And I think that's very important for people to know that it's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to get that therapy, right? And this is the
Absolutely.
result.
Right. Right.
That's right.
So you're the star of the show tonight. What would you like to say? I want you guys to leave the world with hope tonight because I want to leave on a good note. I want to start with you, Kamal. Let's give the world some hope tonight before we get out of here. What do you want to say to
Hey,
everybody?
you hit it on the head. I love to live in this realm of in spite of, and Libby is one of those people that I could definitely say that that's a true testament to because in spite of what's going on in life, people telling you can't do it, your health, you keep on pushing and keep on doing it. And it's because of that people like me continue to do what we do. I started as a DM in the inbox, and now I'm Felicia's assistant, director, stuff like that, and same with Miss Libby, started off just taking a picture. And it was like, you know what, it's way more to that. And she showed up. Libby shows up. That's the next one. They always show up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Live in spite of, and show up, Libby. And that's what I got from you every day, all day, as well as the love that you give me too. Because let's be real, she be giving me a lot of love when that said me and my twin. That's right.
You're my babies.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give the world some hope, Karen. What would you like to leave tonight?
Well, one of the things that I really learned, it took me a while to understand this and to really listen to this, but to see yourself through God's eyes, not through the world's and not even through your own, but how God sees you. And he didn't make any mistakes. He made us the way he made us for a reason. And, use ourselves, to represent him. That's what we're here for, to represent him so people can see him through us. And we need to see ourselves through how he made us, through his eyes. And
man, that's very good. That is, that's way more powerful than Miss Karen, right about now.
Yeah, and I
see
say
yourself through the eyes of God, through his lens. I love it. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right, Miss Superstar. What would you like to say before? Oh, that's right. You are a superstar. Listen, I feel honored to have you on the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, Women's History Month, I think we got to celebrate ourselves. And I really want this. And you guys may know some people that would be great for this show that can come on here and tell their stories. Find them for me. Send them directly to me. Go to Jonathan, though. Jonathan is doing a lot of this for us. It's in tune with Blacktopia. So I want you to go through him, but we want to definitely set up shows. I want, if you are a domestic violence survivor, a cancer survivor, whatever, sex trafficking, because there are people out here that need to hear your story. And I want you to do it here, this Women's History Month on the Ella Johnson Show. So Miss Libby, I want you to have final words, and then we're getting out of here. What would you like to say, love?
My final words will always be the gratitude that I have in this moment. Thank you, everyone, for supporting me, for believing in me, for providing me feedback, good, bad, and indifferent. I want to let everybody know that I am a mental health advocate, especially for communities that are underserved. It is okay to seek help. If you don't know where to go, there are toll-free numbers that you can call that can give you a place in your county, in your state, in your local area where you can go for mental health guidance, and it's on a sliding scale, or your services can possibly be free. Also, if you're ever feeling like you're suicidal, I was a volunteer for the suicide hotline for many years. Please know that there is help out there. I think it's pound 988. Always know that there is someone rooting for you. There's someone supporting you. You are not alone. And I think the rest one is about to kick me out. But I want to let you know that there is always someone believing in you, even when you can't believe in yourself.
That's
that
right.
If no one else is out there, I believe in you. I love you, and I'm sending you positivity.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to say good night. And for the person that said, what is this about? We are talking, tonight we were talking with superstar Tubi, superstar Libby Williams. We interviewed her tonight, and Karen and Kamal came in to surprise her. So just play it back. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the Ella Johnson Show. Well, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. Please share. Please like it. If you like what we're doing on the Ella Johnson Show, then tell everybody you know, right? So that this platform can grow and we can bring more shows like this. All right, guys, have a great evening. Love you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you, Jamal and Karen.
Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Libby.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now. And we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on The Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.
We love Ella Johnson Show.